Okay, I have made over $130,000 online as a Gen Z entirely from my bedroom with no prior skills, no followers. My best month, I made 25 grand in a single month, and I did this by helping random businesses run some simple ads on Instagram. They paid me a few $1,000s to set something up for them on their Instagram account and a few $100s a month to keep it going. And it only takes me about 30 minutes to do. And I learned to do it by, learning online how to do it, watching tutorials, things like that. In this video, I want to break down how to sign your first client online, make your first $1,000 and kind of just get demand coming in. Basically a full marketing guide, because everyone's always asking me, like, the number one question is, how do I get to my first client? How do I make businesses work with me and pay me money for something? Okay. So this is actually the next training that I'm dropping inside of my school community. I'll include examples, one-on-one help. I'll include AI prompts to make kind of your market research kind of phase even easier. And I'll actually walk you through the specific actions to take to get your marketing up, etc., how to set everything up. But I want to give you guys a step-by-step walkthrough here as well. So firstly, what is the best method? Like, how do you actually reach business owners? What's the best method for getting your first client? So I think if you want to have some type of online service business, like a marketing agency, or you want to build websites for people, maybe that's a little bit different, but marketing agency, things like what I do think the best way to get clients, whether you're a beginner or you're already scaling, is going to be through paid ads, right? Probably on Facebook and Instagram, running on ads on that platform, letting people know who you are and what you do, right? The reason I say this instead of doing something like cold calling is that ads are leveraged, right? The results that you get are not connected to the raw input of time you put in, and you can scale them up really quick. Truth is, making 50 cold calls a day, that's difficult, man. That's really difficult, especially as a beginner. If you've never done it before, you don't know what you're doing. I don't think it's realistic to even tell people to do it, because no one's going to do that. No beginner is actually going to make 50 calls a day for 6 months straight, or stay consistent with that long term, especially if you're in school or you're studying, or you've got a job or whatever. I think it's hard for anyone to do that long term. So I think ads are the way to go. The downside is they do cost some money, but you can always start with $10 a day and go from there. I mean, that's how I started, and I had no idea what I was doing. I remember when I started, I think I was making $200 per week, and I would spend either $70 or $140 per week on ads, just learning how to do it, because I knew I wanted to learn, I knew I wanted to make money, and I knew I was not going to be doing cold calling, so we're running ads. So how do you run ads for your service, whatever it is that you do? The first step, I think, is to create your marketing thesis, okay? When people see your marketing, right, and you're telling people who you are and what you do, they're basically asking themselves two questions. Why will this work? How is this different? Okay, so your marketing thesis answers both of those questions. It's basically the core message behind all of your ads, videos, landing pages, right? If the idea is that if your message gives people that light bulb moment, and they're like, oh, that makes sense. The idea is they're going to take the next step and buy, right? Because now they trust you, they like you, they know you, and you've taught them something, right? It's valuable. Right? Tony Robbins actually talks about this, right? Is that if you want people to consume your marketing, you make the marketing itself valuable, right? Think about giving a dog a pill, right? If you just try to give it the pill, it's going to refuse. But if you wrap the pill in salami, they'll eat it, right? And they'll actually keep coming back for it. Marketing works exactly the same way. The pill is your offer, and the salami is the valuable lesson or insight that gets people to pay attention, right? So your thesis, your marketing thesis, should teach people, here's the problem you're experiencing, here's why it's happening, here's a better way to solve it, right? So to create this, you kind of need to understand your market. Now, I did this at this point by taking hundreds of calls with people in my market and just kind of learning the industry by having hundreds of conversations with people. But if you do want a shortcut on kind of doing this marketing or doing this market research, you can join my school community below. I do give you the exact AI prompt I use to have AI kind of do the marketing research and generate this kind of thesis for you. It scans every Reddit thread, every, all the public Facebook groups. It goes through all of that stuff and just gives you the marketing thesis that you need. And once you have your thesis, creating ads and wondering what should the ads say, what should the images say, what should my video scripts be, it all becomes very, very easy. So once you've got your marketing thesis, All that's left now is just knowing how to communicate this from different angles, right? You can even use AI to kind of generate the main kind of angles for your ads in seconds. So like once you've got your marketing thesis, I can give you guys a prompt for this as well. You can then plug the thesis into AI and it will generate different angles of how you can communicate the same thesis in different ways. So let me give you guys kind of an example of this. For instance, if you want to be a marketing agency and you want to help roofing businesses generate more leads, super common, lots of people do it. Lots of people make money there. I even did that as well. Most roofing companies have a lead problem, right? They say things like, we need more leads. And they might also say Facebook ads don't work. Meta ads don't work. Facebook and Instagram, it doesn't work for them, right? It doesn't work. But after talking to roofers and after kind of scanning the industry and whatever, you kind of realize that it's actually something different, which is that getting leads for roofing is actually really easy. Like it's actually really easy. It's getting serious leads that are hard, right? So that's kind of the problem. And here comes your marketing thesis. The reason most roofers think that ads don't work isn't because the ads didn't generate leads. They did. It's because the leads that they're getting aren't qualified. They're not picking up the phone. They're not serious, whatever, right? They're getting people looking for a cheap repair or who are just shopping around or, people who are not ready to buy. So your unique mechanism becomes, we automatically qualify leads before they even speak to your team. And then you're only connected to the people who are serious and who are qualified, right? That becomes your unique mechanism. And now all of your marketing can be built around that idea. And if you're wondering like, well, how do you actually do that? You just use AI, dude. Like most CRMs can integrate with AI and like AI can like talk to the people, text them and whatever. And then AI can decide if they're serious or not, or you can ask these leads questions on a form to decide if they're serious or not. There are lots of ways you can do this, but that becomes your unique mechanism, right? And all of your marketing, all of your ads, your funnels, your landing pages, everything becomes built around that idea, right? And then you can spin up different angles for it. So one ad would be, roofers, you don't need more leads, you need more homeowners who are actually ready to buy, right? Another one could be, if you think Facebook ads don't work, the problem isn't lead generation, it's qualification, right? Another angle would be like, the companies that are winning with ads aren't doing the same thing as you. They don't have more leads than you. They're not getting leads from any different place than you. Like they're running ads the same as everything else. They're just filtering out the bad ones before they even get on the phone, right? Now, all of these ads are basically saying the same thing. They're just different angles of the same core message, right? And that's what a marketing thesis does, right? It gives you one big idea that makes people go, wait, that's actually true. Like, yes, that is the problem. This is where I want to go. And yeah, that sounds like if I did that, that would actually help. So that's what a marketing thesis does. It gives you that one big idea that makes people go, yeah, like that's actually true. Like if I had that, that would help. And once you have that, creating ads becomes incredibly easy because you're no longer guessing what to say, or it's like, oh, I don't know what to say. What do I say to make people want to work with me, right? It's problem, it's solution, it's why what they've tried in the past hasn't worked, and why what you do is going to work that solves that problem, right? So if the problem is I get leads but they're unqualified, you just need a way of qualifying them. You explain how that works to a business owner, whether it's AI or whether it's through a form or whatever. And then if it makes sense, they'll take a shot on you, and they, business owners will pay you like $1,000 to implement that and to give it a try. So now you've got your marketing thesis, you've got a unique mechanism, you're communicating this from different angles to your prospects, you're teaching them, so you become the authority, and then if they are interested, if what you're saying makes sense, you can then deliver that pill. You can then say, hey, if you want me to implement this for you, you can click below, you can fill in the form, apply, you can book a call, whatever, right? So that's basically how you do marketing. That is how you can get your first client, your first $1,000, is you create, ads, content, even probably ads though, because you can just pay Instagram $10, then they'll just give you like 1,000 views for free. That's basically what ads are, right? You're just paying for the views, and you just create either videos or even images. Like you can just create them in Canva. Even just simple like text images like this will actually work really well. And you just kind of call out your niche. You state the problem. You state why what they're trying isn't working. You introduce a new solution. And if that new solution actually makes logical sense, then some people will give you a shot on that, right? Especially if you can kind of, have a conversation with them and kind of explain how it works, answer their questions. That is how you can get your first client. That's how I got my first client online. And that's actually what I'm still doing now. I'm going to be going more in depth in the community, but that's basically how you get your first client, guys. It's like The other thing is that when you've got the right AI prompts, you can literally spin up your marketing thesis, all the different ad angles, create the images in Canva, and then like have all of the stuff live within 24 hours, right? Like within 24 hours, you can have business owners in your area applying to have you like implement something for them. And that's how you get your first $1,000. I hope this was useful for someone. God bless. And I'm rooting for you. Make some money online. Make it happen.